Good day, folks. Pagosa Red here. Today I am going to be cooking a bacon wrapped pork tenderloin with Italian cheese and green chili stuffed inside. Got everything all laid out here ready to go. Got my cup of coffee in my nice cup that I brought from the Czech Republic last year. Love my coffee in my Czech cup. So we're going to get started and walk you through this process and see how this comes out. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take and cover these with a little bit of, this is apple cider vinegar and honey. So we're just going to spread some of that on it because we're going to wrap this up afterwards and let it set for a few hours. The apple cider vinegar kind of helps to tenderize the meat, gives it a nice flavor, and of course the honey won't hurt it at all either. So we're going to do all of that. Don't need it too heavy. Just make sure everything's covered and set that to the side. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get some Montreal McCormick steak spice. We're just going to cover them good with some steak spice here. Not too heavy. I like to taste the meat, not just taste the seasoning that's there. We're going to put a glaze on this and we put it on the grill too. So we're just going to soak up some of that in there. Then I like to put a little cinnamon on my meat, just a light dust, not very much. Especially on pork, even on steaks, it's really good. It just helps bring out the flavor of the meat, but you don't want it too heavy because you get it too heavy, then you're just going to taste cinnamon, which isn't too bad with the pork, but with the steaks, you don't want to be able to do that. So, all right, so we got that there. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to cut a slice down through the middle of here. Kind of open these up a little bit. We're going to put the two of these together, make one instead of cooking them separate. We can throw a little, won't hurt to throw a little seasoning in there too. All right, then I've got this mixture I've already done. This is green chili and some garlic. This is a hot and mild mixed together, so it'll kind of be a little more medium. I'm just going to put a little bit of, this is Italian blend cheese. We'll throw a little of that in there. And we'll just scoop in some green chili here. Be just about right. Then we're going to try to pull these two together, so we'll probably need a strip of bacon in order to get it to go and hold. I'm going to kind of bring that up like that a little bit, that one a little bit, and see if we can fold these two into one. Bring that over there. Try and keep it together. Bring that up. And we'll get that in there. A little fatter than I thought it would be with the green chili in there. Just stretch it a little bit better. There we go. See if we can fix this one here. You're probably going to need 2 toothpicks. We're just going to continue like that with the bacon. Bring that over just a little bit. Okay, we got that all wrapped up with some bacon. Just going to set it over here. Just cover it up a little bit. Let it set for, probably going to set for a couple of hours. It's not going to take that long to cook. So we'll let it set up and rest. Put it in the refrigerator. Let it set for a few hours. Then we'll get the grill hot here and we'll cook her up. So stay tuned. Okay, I've got my charcoal in my charcoal chimney. I like a charcoal chimney. I've got a couple of fire starters. They're pretty much just sawdust and wax. I don't like the ones that you get from the stores. I don't know if that'll go in there or not. I don't think it will. We'll move it up here. I don't like the ones you get at the store without, lighter fluid. So I use these. There's one I like called Strike-A-Lot, but I didn't have any. We tuck that down in there. I'm using mesquite charcoal briquettes. If you can see that, they're just come from Walmart for $5 for a bag. They seem to cook really good. So we'll get our fire going here, and then we'll get our pork tenderloin on there and get going. Have some dinner here in a little bit. Okay, as you can see, our coals are pretty ready to go. They're nice and red all the way up into here, probably up into there. We're going to dump them out, spread them out a little bit, and then we'll get cooking here in just a minute. We'll get these nice and evenly spread pretty good. Then we're going to drop them down because they're going to be way too hot. And you're going to rock and roll while I do, I guess. This thing is not very sturdy. Anyway, we got those down there. Get some vents open. We'll start them open full. All right, we'll get our grids in. You can see this is a really fancy barbecue, but it works. All right, let's go get our meat. Okay, we're going to just spray this a little bit. Hopefully keep it from sticking too much. And we're just going to transfer this baby right to the middle. There we go. Get that out of there. I'm going to shut her down and let her go for about 3 minutes. Going to let that bacon set up in there. I'm going to turn it on each side, so I want the bacon to set up a little bit as I turn it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, that's been 3 minutes. So let's open it up and see what that's looking like on that side. Yeah, that's not too bad. And come around to this side here so you can see. So we're going to let that one go for 3, and we're just going to turn it, and then we'll come back and we'll let it cook more. Sorry about that. All right, we're all set up. All right, that's another 3 minutes. So let's see how it's doing. We'll just roll it on over. We'll let that go for 3. And then we'll come back when it's all done on 3 sides, and then we'll turn the vents down and cook it a little bit more. All right, we've cooked this on all sides for 3 minutes now. You can see it's looking pretty good. I'm going to turn it back on the top part. Let it sit there, see if that cooks up. We're going to cook that for about 5 minutes now on each side. I'm going to turn the vents down to half, about half. And then we'll cook it for 5 minutes on each side. Then we'll come back and we'll take a look at it and see how it's doing till we get it to the right temperature. Then we'll start throwing some glaze on there. All right, we've cooked it on all 4 sides for 5 minutes, so really a total of 8 minutes on both sides. It's supposed to be a temperature of about 145 degrees inside. We're not there yet. The outside's nice. The inside is still only hitting about 113. So we're gonna have to let that sit in there and cook some more. So we'll rotate this side. And let that go about another 5 minutes or so. And then we'll come back. Just check this side and see what it says it is. It's only hitting about 123. So we gotta let her cook a little bit more. All right, we've done it 5 minutes more on each side. So let's take a look at the temperature and see what it looks like. We're getting the bacon's getting nice and brown. We don't really want the bacon any more brown than what it is. Yeah, it looks like we're at 140, 141, 42. So that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to take it and move it up here on this top rack. Here. Then I'm going to go get my basting stuff and we're going to baste it. We interrupt this program to bring you a special report. Yesterday, when I was making the grilled pork tenderloin, I forgot, didn't forget, but somehow when I was videoing, the video of how to make the glaze did not get taped. So I'm going to give you the recipe for doing the glaze. So the glaze is you just put about 2 tablespoons of each one of these. There's some apple cider vinegar, there's some honey, maple syrup, Worcestershire sauce, or however you want to say it. Put about 2 tablespoons or so of that each, stir it up good, and then just add brown sugar to it till it thickens. You want a nice thick glaze, but you don't want it so much that it clumps. You want it where it spreads good. So just mix it, and you can add whatever this back in there that you want to fit your own particular taste. So that's what this report's about. Also, in the green chili, I noticed in the video, I did not specify that I had already mixed some minced garlic in with the green chili before I put it into the pork tenderloin. So there you have it, and continue on. All right, so we got our base going here. We're just gonna smother this baby in all of this nice glaze. I turned the vents down about half, so I'm going to let it sit up here for about probably 5 minutes. Then we'll roll it over, maybe 3, Let it kind of glaze on there nice and good. And we'll check the internal temperature and we'll see. I think we're going to be pretty close to done. So, all right, let's let her run for another 3 minutes. Okay, as you can see, it's gotten a little dark since we started. So we're gonna see if we can get a temperature reading here. Looks like we're at 145, 146, 7, so we're good. So we're gonna take this off and take it in and let it rest. All right, we've got our pork tenderloin that's all done, ready to go. We're just going to lightly tint it, just a little bit, let it rest. And while we do that, we're going to cook up some vegetables and some potatoes. All right, while our pork tenderloin's cooking out there, we're going to cook up some potatoes here. These are just little small potatoes. I'm going to cook them. Got about a tablespoon of water in the bottom. I'm going to cover it with a wet paper towel across the top. We're going to throw it in the microwave for about 5 minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll smush them and we'll fry them. All right, we've let these potatoes cook for about 5 minutes. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to take a cup, take the bottom of it. We're just going to squish them. Just like that. Squish it down. Then what we're going to do in a little bit, after we get them all squished, we're going to take and put them in a skillet with some oil and some seasoning. We're going to fry them. We're going to make fried smushed potatoes. All right, while that pork tenderloin is resting, we're going to cook up some broccoli, and we're going to cook up some potatoes. So what I like to do, one of my little tips is, instead of waiting for the water to boil, just boil the water in the little teapot, then cover your vegetables with it. Let them get going. Then we got some butter and some olive oil. Let that melt down a little bit. Then we'll just start throwing in these smushed potatoes that we did earlier. May not be able to get them all in here. My pan's not big enough, but it's okay. We'll cook some more as we go. You see that there? Got a little flame going there, and got my broccoli going. So, all right, we'll let that cook up, and then we'll slice up that pork tenderloin, and we'll have dinner. All right, let those potatoes get nice and brown on one side. You flip them over. Then when I flip them, I take some more Montreal McCormick steak spice, and I just kind of coat the tops of them nice. And I got some French onion dip. I'll probably just use that. Sometimes I mix some mayo and some gluten. I think it's glutens. brown spicy mustard together, 40% mustard, 60% mayonnaise, depending on how much mustard you like. And then I take and stir that together and make my dip. So, all right, our potatoes look like they're pretty well done. So let's scoop them out of there. We'll see how our broccoli's doing here in just a little bit. I'm on a paper towel so that they'll absorb some of the grease. We'll throw those other two that we had left over back in there. We'll get them going. Okay, I've removed the steamer tray from the broccoli. Now we're just going to throw in some butter. Then I've got some lemon pepper. We'll sprinkle a little of that in there. And just kind of stir it around, let the butter melt. Get the pepper and the butter on the broccoli, and it'll be ready to serve. Our pork tenderloin's been resting. Let's take that off. Take a look at it and see how that looks. It looks pretty good on this end here. Let's cut into it and see what we got inside. Of course, that's a big chunk there. We'll just try to cut where there's bacon. There's green chili and cheese in there. I guess you can see that in there, piece there, how nice that looks. Got some cheese and some green chili up there in the middle. That one's falling apart there. That's okay. We'll take it. Get it all plated up here with some bacon. Get her put together. Okay, so dinner is served. We've got pork tenderloin with some green chili and some Italian cheese stuffed inside with a nice sweet glaze on the outside. We've got smushed fried potatoes, and we've got some broccoli with some lemon pepper and butter. So I'm gonna dig in and enjoy my meal. Thanks for tagging along. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and hit the like button and subscribe. Have a great night.